Don't you wish you were in Buffalo? Because things are going real swell for the Sabres and their fans and the organization. After years and years of finally building, the climb has started.
We're back, baby.
I would love them to be some redemption story. So I had this at the start of the season. I thought to myself, and I this isn't a great proclamation. The Atlantic is a hell of a division when you look at it. Mm-hmm. And none of those teams are in rebuilds. If there was a separation for a while there was 4 and 4. Now there's 8. It's just a differing degree of how good they are. But, the Leafs have come down. I think Florida on paper has come down just based on the injuries, the injury to Barkov and Tkachuk. Doesn't mean there's not a brilliant team. It's just on paper they've come down. Tampa, Tampa's had a slow start, but I think they're a fantastic team. I look at Boston having a bounce back year because they shut everybody down and traded Marchand at the deadline. But, we talked about this last week where, Elias Lindholm, Hampus Lindholm, Charlie McAvoy, Swayman starts the season. They look decent. And then Detroit goes and beats Toronto twice in regulation. One, they didn't have any business doing it. Talbot was great, but the other one they played very, very well. So I don't think Detroit is going to take a step back. They're going to be pushing for a playoff spot. Ottawa's going to be pushing should be a playoff team. But listen, stranger things have happened, and they might take a step back. But my point being is all these teams. So I throw Buffalo in there. That's the reason why I got long-winded on this. Buffalo, on paper, has a lot of good players. There's just something there that's just not – it's like they put their skates on and they just go and lose games. I don't know what they do. But if Ottawa thinks they're going to roll in there and just steamroll Buffalo, Buffalo is like a wounded animal right now. I don't know what they're going to do. But, I look at Ottawa's got to have a strong game because at some point those guys might get going. And I don't
know. I know what you're saying, and they've been shitty enough for long enough, but that's the problem is they've been shitty enough for long enough that I don't think you can take any trends out of, we've struggled. Well, yeah. You've been together for years. This is not a new group of kids that have just come together. Like Tage Thompson, like that group's been there.
They're 28 years old. Tuck is 29.
Yeah.
Johnson's 28. Darlene's a hell of a player. Like, Bowen Byram's younger, but like I look at some of their players, they're really good. But then, Peterka was a hell of a player. Got to go. Dylan Cousins, good player. Got to go. Like Josh Norris, you trade for Norris, like injured. He's played 4 games, 2 of them injured. Like it sucks. But at the end of the day, like, and I'll put it back to you guys. If you had one, if somebody said to you, I'm going to make you the president of the Buffalo Sabres, what's your first move?
Coach. I think Lenny's the wrong guy.
Coach and GM. There's no fucking way Kevin Adams is staying my GM. He's been there long enough and mucked it about.
F sharp.
Sorry, I'm grumpy.
Okay. At the end, there's so it starts right there and go. Okay, we're gonna deal with the guy at the top and the guy who's driving the bus behind the bench.
I run all the coaches. I clean a whole clean slate because a lot of those they're going to hear this, but a lot of those coaches behind the bench have been there a while.
They're part of the problem.
Listen, there's a lot of good people there. There's a lot of good people in Buffalo. I have a soft spot for them, but it doesn't mean they're doing a great job, and it doesn't mean that you're right. But here's the thing, Rhett. If you go clean sweep, is there a lineup of top tier, you name it, executives putting their hand up and going, I'm moving to Buffalo. I'm going to do, now it could be money, just money. You might have to tell the owner, we're going to have to overspend here. We're going to have to go and get coach X, Y, and Z. It's going to cost you $5-6 million a year. And, oh, by the way, general manager, there's not a lot of them out there that you would trust. Like, yes, Jarmo Kekalainen is right there. And Jarmo, I think, is an unbelievable evaluator of talent. He's a great scout. But he has a history of being a manager. But did he take Columbus to, a level that you felt, okay, I want
that? He hired jackass coaches, I'll tell you that.
Fair enough. But what I'm saying, I like Jarmo. But my point being is, Is he the guy that the vision? Okay, this is the guy that's going to change the culture or change the vision of my organization. That's the biggest challenge. Like that's because is there somebody out there? Is there Brendan Shanahan?
No.
Who's like? But here's the thing: did Shanny? The Leafs didn't win anything under him. 10-year plan.
No, but like Matthew Darsh went to the Islanders. That's exactly the type of guy. You want a guy that's worked in a winning organization for 10 years that understands the business. Like it doesn't have to be a name. Like it doesn't have to be Lou Lamoriello. Like who's been a really well-run team for 10 years? Like go get the AGM in Florida. Like they probably are going to have a really good idea how to build a good team.
I agree. Greg Campbell would be a guy that I would call. Greg Campbell's an AGM there in Florida. Here's it's a prime example, Pinder. Jim Nill. Dallas Stars put their hand up and said, Jim Nill has been a real good confidant of Ken Holland. And we need you, great scout, all of that type of stuff. Look at that Dallas team is like that organization has drafted, developed, trades, signings. Like it's a top tier organization the way they've done it. So you're right, Pinder. I think you got to go and comb through the league and see who is very respected, but needs to be elevated.
Yeah.
And find that person. You're right. It doesn't have to be, they don't have to have cachet. What they have to do is have a plan.
Yeah.
And go, this is the plan. And I'm sorry. The weirdest part is whoever takes over has got to go, I can't apologize for 14 years because you might have 3 more years of pain until I sort this mess out. And that's, that's.
So the problem for me is that it isn't the first time they've looked for a GM, and it isn't the first time that you've said maybe this coach isn't the right fit. And so the Sabres haven't been doing exactly what we talked about. They went to a common name with cachet, who I don't think is a fit with a personnel at head coach, and they took a guy in business operations and made him a GM. So we can talk about them going and doing things the right way, but the owner has put people that were not equipped to do the job into these jobs. Like I believe it was Corey Sarich we talked with a couple of years ago and talked about Lindy Ruff. You're like motivator of guys not big on structure. Like you have a young team with players that everyone's saying they're better on paper than they are on the ice. Is not the one thing you should be looking for in a coach like structure and work ethic?
Yes.
They don't, and you know what? We don't need to keep talking about Buffalo, but they don't feel like a coach and GM away to me because I'm with you. It's been 14 years. What would the Pittsburgh Penguins be if they never got Sidney Crosby at 1? Like he got that rink built. He kept that team in Pittsburgh. They didn't need Owen Power at first overall. They didn't need Jack. They needed Connor McDavid. Like that's what that place needs to rejuvenate. Because you can have a lot of hockey brains. Free agents are still not going to want to come there if things are kind of the way they are. You need something over the top to change it there.
You're right. They got Eichel. But the thing is Eichel's a pretty damn good player.
Looked all right last night.
He just wanted out because he hurt his neck, and I don't know the whole backstory of the doctors and all of that. But it comes back to one word then: culture. Mm-hmm. If you built listen, I grew up in Edmonton. Edmonton's not for everybody. It's not aesthetically. It's a gritty city. All of that type of stuff. If you build a winning situation or you have a culture that has a belief right now, there are guys that put their hand up and go, yeah, I'll go to Edmonton for 2 years and whatever. Look at the free agents that have come there. They haven't been the right ones, but look at even Roslovic put his hand up the other day and said, I'll take $1.5 million, go and play with McDavid type of thing, try and get an opportunity. So Buffalo needs to build it. And then people go, I'll go to Buffalo because they've got player X, Y, and Z, or that program is a winning program or they're a perennial playoff situation. None of that comes with. And then you go, okay, well, maybe Buffalo's not for everybody because of the weather, or because of the tax situation, you name it. I like Buffalo. Rhett, you and I have gone drinking there a few times. It's great. But, is it for everybody? The thing is Buffalo's part of the equation, the city. It's the organization now where you're like, okay, let's get this act together. And then we can, for lack of better words, tolerate the city. That's what's happened in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Is they've got some players. So it's like, okay, we can tolerate the city. Now, Buffalo doesn't have that. They don't have either. That's what screwed up for them.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.